Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. EBO Richards, CEO of CORP Exchange, and we're doing a little segment here by Castle International, which is one of our economic research firms on the CORP Exchange, and it's a member in good standings. A simple law was brought up, so we call this one is called because what's going on today with central banks and interest rates and reserves. We come up with a model like this because we don't know if quantitative easing is dead. So we put quantitative easing right here. So we call this fly me to the moon. This is called fly me to the moon. So what happens is, and by the way, it's like creating and making something happen. And also you have to keep in mind the largest transfer of wealth is taking place in the U.S. economy right now. And that's the largest economy. So never count that out. And that'll be going on for about the next 25 to 30 years. And also when you're hedging we're looking at the downside versus the upside. So the upside is like this. So you're trying to fly me to the moon. So we want to get in orbit. You're trying to get equities, because quantitative easing, as we understand it at Castle International, is about equities. It's not about expanding the market. We're not trying to say, 1.6 GDP versus 52 basis points in 2015 to 2016, and we're sitting here, but yet we're sitting here arguing 3% growth. So I don't just see it's a good conversation, but it's not real. It's like you're looking for Bigfoot, or you're chasing a unicorn or something. You know, you're looking for the Loch Ness. It's just not a reality right now. Too many things would have to happen, and they will happen, they could happen, but it's not going to happen in a year. It's just not going to happen. You know, you're talking about an explosion, and it just wouldn't happen. Money would just be flying all over. It'll be like money grows on trees. So when you're flying me to the moon, remember, equities is the basis, is the can I say presumption of why you put this in, because equities went down during the 2008. It was all about equities. We got to get these stocks back up so your 401 and your retirements and whatnot are protected. So what we do is you put and meanwhile you're in a zero interest rate environment. So what happens is the stocks go up. We're trying to get here. We want to orbit around the moon here. At this point, we don't want to be too close to the gravity of the moon. We want to stay like this. So what happens is, through policies, mainly the central bank, the quantitative easing comes in, and then the policy comes in, and it sends the equities up. But it's like many economists argue, when you start taking away the punch bowl or the fruit bowl or whatever it is, the sugar high, the stocks want to start coming down. So inevitably, they will start coming down. That's where you have the interest rate kick in. So when they start coming down like this, the orbit gets too close. What does that mean? I hit the interest rates, I fire like this. So the interest rate comes in when it starts to buoy down, and then boom, once the equity market hits this target, it bounces up. And it starts to go back in its correct rotation. But guess what happens? If it's not catching through the emerging markets and through the investments, it's going to start to come back down again. In a couple sessions, or a couple years, it'll come back down. So what do? I fire another interest rate, because remember, I'm in a zero interest rate environment. So I have plenty of ammunition right now. So every time it starts to come down, I can just hit it. And the thing is, it's your mark, because you want to keep it within this orbit. You don't want it to get into the gravitational pull of that. But we can get more into this, but it's just a simple, a synopsis was brought up to us, a charitable discussion by, some prominent economists and investors, and it was just about physics. And this pretty much what it is. You just want to keep things in a certain orbit for this amount of time until it's ready to take the weight. The economies are recovering. On top of that, you have the emerging market coming in. So you just keep firing, and I have plenty. I'm the Fed, the U.S. Fed. I have plenty of rocket interest rates to fire off and to keep the market from getting sucked into the pool of bearish sentiment. Again, my name is Mr. ECONOMIST Richards, CEO of CORP Exchange, and you've just been checking out just a little fun research from Castle International, which is global economic research on the exchange. Thank you and have a great day.